There's the Ready for Sun compared to Poolside Pink. The packaging looks more or less the same, and the tubes look more or less the same. I mean, what were Maybelline thinking? This is absolutely ridiculous. You know, it's just, if you looked in a hurry, you wouldn't know which one was which, because they look more or less the same. There could have been more variation. They could have had Poolside Pink in pink sort of toned packaging, and they're exactly the same. It's very, very slight, minute, minuscule variations. In actual fact, I can't see any difference between the tube packaging. They both look identical. The only slight difference in the cardboard packaging is that this one has got is more pink. It's pinkish at the bottom, and this one is more orange at the bottom. So that's utterly ridiculous. That's how much product you get. Smells nice, and but as for the packaging, we'll talk about this in more detail in a moment. I mean, look at this packaging compared to the Cherry Me packaging. There's Cherry Me, obviously, because it's got the see-through container, but the packaging is so... And I'll be doing comparison swatches with those two in a minute, plus these other two red ones. As you can see, the Christmas one from a few years ago looks a lot redder than the other two, but yeah, too similar by half. Okay, there's Ready for Sun on the end, there's Cherry Me, and then next to it is Sweet Apple. I can't remember the American version, what it was called last year, but it's exactly the same. And then there's Winter Flush. And Cherry Me and Ready for Sun, you can see they're almost the same. As is, in fact, Sweet Apple, but those two especially, because the packaging is identical. Almost identical anyway. So here's the swatches. There's Winter Flush on the very end here, this end there. Then it's Sweet Apple from last year. Then we've got Cherry Me in the middle between those three there. The middle one is Cherry Me, and then it's Ready for Sun. And Cherry Me and Ready for Sun are exactly the same in all but name. And so they even have the same sheer. They differ from Sweet Apple in that is much more pigmented. So even though they're the same, those three are the same colour family, much more than Winter Flush, which is a more proper, bright, orangey red. These three are the same colour family, but Sweet Apple is far more pigmented than Poolside Pink. I mean, gosh, Ready for Sun and Cherry Me are exactly the same. The only difference is that Ready for Sun has this SPF in it. I shall now attempt to do the swatches, and forgive me if I sound all hesitant and nervous when I talk. As soon as I start making a video, I know everything I want to say, but then as soon as I start filming, I stumble over words and forget myself. It's because I get so nervous. But I think it's too dark. I'm going to put the light on, so I think we're good. Well, let me just do the swatch first, so in natural daylight of Ready for Sun. Very, very sheer, but it does give a colour, obviously. Now, where's this is Cherry Me. It's exactly the same. The only difference is that Cherry Me, in this country anyway, in the UK, does not have the SPF in it. Let's put the light. Well, I'll do all the swatches, so because I'm a completist like that, and I thought you'd want to see the difference in different light. There's last year's Winter Flush, and as you can see, that's very pigmented. Not Winter Flush, so Sweet Apple, Sweet Apple. That's what I mean, you see. I make mistakes and say things the wrong way round, but I always realise in time. So there's Winter Flush. It's got like the swirly pattern round the packaging. I like that one, that's my favourite. Let's put the light on now. see, there's Winter Flush. Hope this is showing up. I'll hold it still, otherwise it becomes a blur. Winter Flush on the end, then Sweet Apple, then I can't remember the order I did them in, but you'll know, because you'll see. I think I did Ready for Sun, and then I did, and then Cherry Me. So that's the swatches. But as for the packaging, I can't understand what Maybelline were thinking of. What was their idea behind this? Poolside Pink, Ready for Sun, Cherry Me, and okay, you can see Cherry Me because it's got see-through packaging. But look, there's Poolside Pink. I don't want to get these two mixed up, mind you, it says on the labels, doesn't it, what they are. Ready for Sun, Poolside Pink. And yet the packaging is identical on the tube packaging anyway. Identical packaging, yet they're both different shades. So if you wanted to carry and you had them in your purse or pocket or bag, and you thought, oh, I want Poolside Pink, you know, it'd be hit and miss whether you'd get the right one. You might say, oh, is that Poolside Pink? And then you find out, no, it's not, if you wanted the pink one and you were in a hurry. So, as for the smell, that's the Poolside Pink. It's got a very faint smell. I'm going to compare it to Cherry Me. Yeah, it even smells the same. I hope that's been comprehensive enough for people. I know that there's people that like to know, so I shall attempt to read what it says on the packaging. Baby Lips Sport, moisturising lip balm with a hint of colour, and then that's just it. It's 73%, 76%. Self-assessment on 105 women. Well, that's not many, is it? That's how many thought it was. Only 76% thought it was their lips were more hydrated. Oh, that's not many, is it? And only 73% in one category. UVB protection, UV, sweat resistant, and 8-hour moisture. Well, that's certainly not true. You do not get 8-hour moisture. You'd be lucky if it lasts even an hour. If you drink a cup of tea or eat something. So yes, that's my honest review on the Maybelline Ready for Sun. I don't know what they ever think. Honestly, I think this is probably the worst, in my view anyway, probably the worst collection they've ever done. I think there's only the 3 in this country. I don't know if there's a fourth one somewhere else. As far as I can tell, there's only 3 so far. But as for their policy recently of only releasing 3 in the UK and 4 in the rest of Europe, so I don't know whether I think there's only 3 in this collection, though I could be wrong. So yeah, I mean, I'd like to think, you know, if Maybelline are going to bring out more collections for the summer in these parts of the world, why don't they? I wish they'd bring out like a nice white pearl or a pink pearl like the one that Nivea does, only in Maybelline packaging, and or a nice see-through black one for Halloween. I mean, you know, it's like they've run out of ideas. They're so limited now. There's just, if they release them, oh, they're pink or red, especially for the summer. And what about a nice orange, a nice bright orange one, or a nice peach coloured one and flavour? Yeah, Barbie agrees too. Not pink or red. They're just see-through. So this one sees the blue is just hydrate or quenched in all but name, except for the fact that this one has got SPF. Well, it doesn't mean anything to me. I don't care if it's got SPF or not. But in America, of course, the hydrate quenched has got SPF, but over here it hasn't. So another funny little difference. Why don't they just release the same ones consistently everywhere? All this nonsense about, oh, well, it's demographics and they have to be released for the correct consumer, it's so annoying, and it's taken all the fun for me out of collecting Baby Lips, so I've lost a lot of interest in them. You know, but luckily, if they're released in America, the American sellers will put them up online, but with Baby Lips, because they're owned by Maybelline, and Maybelline have been taken over by L'Oreal, who's based in Paris. When Maybelline owned them, I presume based in New York, the American sellers would put up limited edition ones so we could buy them over here. But the European sellers in their countries, where I think the other when they released the last collection, the winter one, there was one, wasn't it, Cafe Mocha, was never released in the UK, not officially. And the countries where they did release them, Turkey and other countries in and around Europe, they just didn't put them up for sale on eBay. It was only at the very last minute someone from this country put some up, probably brought some back, and I'm going off and rambling, and she's saying, be quiet, shut up. Anyway, hope everyone's doing good, hope you're doing well, and enjoying what there is of the nice weather. It's the sun's out at the moment. Bye, bye.